Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be using a strategy I call corner grind. What I love about this strategy is that it's really low risk and it's a great strategy to use if you want to build your bankroll. So let's get into the video and I'm going to show you guys exactly how it works as we go along. But before we do, if you guys don't mind hitting that subscribe button and the like button, it helps with the channel a lot and I appreciate it a great deal. So thank you so much. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to be using my program BetMaster. And what it's going to be doing for me today is actually placing the bets. Although I'm not going to be placing real bets, I'll be using my program's simulation mode. So to set that up, I just have to go over here into my Play Money tab and activate safety mode. And that's just going to prevent my mouse from placing real bets. Now next, I have to set up a session for this, and we're just going to call this Corner Grind. And now today we're going to be using dollar units to start with. And so for that, we're going to need a $1,000 bankroll. It's actually $961 to be exact, but $1,000 is a nice round number. And I also have to let my program know what numbers are going to be hot because we're going to be betting on the hot corners for this strategy. So I'm just going to select corners, open up this and filter it to hot. And we're just going to put this aside so we can see the numbers. And I think we're all set to go. I've already got my progression loaded and I'm going to go ahead and start to execute the bets now. And I'll explain things as we go along. Now the first thing it's going to do is place bets on the 3 hottest corners. Okay, so as you can see, the cursor moved and it did place bets, and you can see those bets right up here. So we placed $1 on corners 6, 18, and 13. So 6, 18, and 13. And the program is also set to not bet on overlapping corners, which is why you might see the odd, like for example, 8 didn't get bet on because it would have overlapped with 6. Now that last one was a loss. So for the second level of this progression, we move on to expanding the coverage, and now we've got 4 corners covered, and we've increased the bet. So it's a $2 bet on 4 corners now. And I don't believe we have the number 4 covered, so we'll be moving on to the third level of the progression. Oh, actually we might have it in... No, we did not have it. No, we were betting on corner 2, but 4 is in corner 1. So how my program works when it comes to corners is they're all mapped out. So basically we've got down here 1, 2, 4, 5, that's corner 1, and corner 2 would be 2, 3, 5, 6. So corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4, corner 5, corner 6, and so on. I believe there's 22 corners on the table mapped out. And number 30. We have 30 covered. That's on corner 18. So there's a win. And that was on level 5. Now, I'm just going to open up my progression and show you. If I go into the bet tab and then open it up with the edit button, we can have a look at the progressions right here. Now, on level 5, that's where we just were. There was a total of a $16 bet across 4 corners. I'm just going to release my mouse for a second so the program can take control, and I'll explain how the progression works. Okay, so if we start at level 1, we place $1 on 3 corners. Level 2, we're going to place $2 on 4 corners, and level 3 will be $3 on 5 corners. Now, if we lose at level 3, then we go back to 3 corners on level 4, but we double the bet. And at this point, we need 2 consecutive wins in order to get a full recovery. I'm just going to release my mouse for a second so that the bets can take place again. And I think that's going to be a win. We hit number 30, that's corner 18. Now, as I said, this has 15 levels, so basically from level 4 all the way to 15. If we're in any of these levels, as I was saying, we need 2 consecutive wins to recover. But by the time you get to, level 6 or level 9, you've got 20 numbers covered, so you are a favorite to win. And it's very rare you'll make it to level 15. Let's get back into the game and see how we're doing. So we've already got a $17 profit. You can see that here in the profit loss. And that last one was a loss, number 14. So we've got $2 on 4 corners now. Corners 18, 4, 8, and 13. Again, you can see that all right up here in the history window. And then just beside it, we're keeping track of our progress. So we've got a $17 session high. We just lost that last one, so we're down to $14. And we're at a 50% win rate right now. And there's that number 30 again, so that'll be a win. Almost 25% to our target. Like I said, we're looking for $100 here, 10% of our bankroll. Oh, so we've got an inactivity pause here, so I just have to click on the screen so that it'll come live again. Now that's the thing about using the play money mode, is that so we're not actually placing real bets on the table, and as a result we're not considered active. I'm sure, as you know, if you don't place any real bets for long enough, or you just sit here at the casino site, they pause the game on you like that for inactivity. So we just have to keep the game active by clicking on the screen. In fact, I'm just going to do a quick page refresh, because if you have enough of those inactivities, they will eventually just kick you out. There we go. And number 12. It looks like we have 12 covered on corner 8, so that'll be another win. We were at level 4 in the progression. And 26. 26. It looks like, yeah, we have 26 covered also, corner 18. So as you know, we are betting on the hot corners, and I do find that that at times it does make a difference to bet on the hot sectors of the wheel. Now that said, I only find that makes a difference when it comes to playing at a live dealer. There's at times a temporary bias. It's impossible to know when the bias is happening, because sometimes numbers are just randomly hitting more frequently than they would otherwise. But there could be a dealer bias, which is why I always say, just bet wherever the ball is landing. And, if betting randomly is how you want to bet, then what difference does it make if you bet on the hot sectors? It would be just like betting randomly. It shouldn't matter. But if there is a bias, then it will matter. And why not try to capitalize on that? So my philosophy is always bet where the ball is landing. And number 29, that'll be another. You see, like, we just keep hitting the same corner. It's hot for some reason, right? It could be random, but it could be because of the way the dealer is releasing the ball. You know, it's hot for reasons the math can't explain. We're halfway to the target now, and we've got a 66.7% win rate, so we're doing really well. And there's the number 29 again. What do you guys think? Luck or bias? I don't know. It really is hard to say, but I'll take every win I can get. As far as risk goes, this is a very low risk strategy because of the coverage that it builds up to, covering up to 20 numbers, and the fact that we have 15 levels to go down. The win rate, or the expected win rate on this, is 99.91%, I believe. It's really, really high. So the chances of a loss are very low. Of course, there's always a chance, and eventually it will lose. Every roulette system eventually fails. But ideally, you want to play systems that have a lower chance of failing. And my program actually has a built-in risk analysis. So when I build a progression, like for example, I've got this progression here, it's built within the program. I can go and I can assess or look at the risk assessment that it gives me. I can bring that up in just a second to show you. And we won that last one. We're at a 73.3% win rate betting on the hot corners. Now, if I go into here and I click on this risk button, so this gives me a full risk assessment for everything that's going on. So we can look at things like the risk metrics. It tells us what our chances of reaching the final level are. Excuse me just one second. I have to release the mouse so that it can place its bets. And I apologize for the dinging that's about to happen. It happens when I have another page open and the mouse has to place bets. There we go. So yeah, so it tells us what the chances are of reaching each level. And then if we go over to win probabilities, now I do have to say that, so this is getting on the line of slightly more complex progressions because the table coverage varies. So it's really difficult to get the math formula to calculate this 100% accurately, but it gives you an idea of the probability. I'll scroll down there in just a second. I'm going to let the cursor do its bet. Okay, so scrolling down here, what we're looking for is the probability of the system failing. So it's giving us a number of 3,013 spins, 3,113 spins. Now that's really, really high. I don't think that this is completely accurate, and it's missing a couple of things. It's not taking into consideration. I think, first of all, as I explained earlier in the system, we from level 4 to 15, we need 2 wins for a full recovery. So I don't think that's accounted for in this formula. But anyways, that said, it's still a very low risk system. Other systems that cover, say, 18 numbers on the wheel and have 7 attempts give me a 1 in 216 failure rate, and that's a straightforward progression, so the math on that is accurate. So taking that into consideration, this having up to 20 numbers covered, 15 levels, I would say you've probably got several hundred spins before the system fails on average. Now, of course, we are only talking averages. You know, naturally, a system can fail many times before its expected failure rate, just like any number can appear many times before it's expected. Each number is expected 1 in 37 times, or sorry, 1 in 37 spins. Excuse me just one second. I just have to click on that screen to bring it back to life. So yeah, so as I was saying, numbers can come 3 or 4 times within 37 spins. So any system that's designed to fail or has a failure probability of, like, say, 1 in 216 spins can fail 5 times within 216 spins, and then it can go 1,000 spins without failing at all. But that number just gives you an idea of the frequency at which it's expected, right? Just the probability. Now, over time, of course, it does play out just like numbers, 2.7%. Every number eventually in a big enough spin sample will be there at 2.7%. Now let's check out and see how we're doing right after this bet. And it looks like we won that last one because the mouse only placed 3 bets. So let's see. We're at $85 already, guys, and we're doing really well. $15 away from that target. And we've only had to go, I think, as deep as 5 or 6 levels. We haven't even used up half of the tries that we have available to us. It's an extremely safe system to play. And number 7, do we have the 7 covered? That might be part of 4. No, it was not. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that betting on hot numbers can make a difference? Hot corners in this case? Is this something that you would try? And the number 17, do we have 17 covered? What are we on? 18, 8, 4, 13? No, we did not have that covered. So now we're on to level 3 of the progression. So we've got 20 numbers covered. It's going to open this up so we can see all of our corners. We've got 18, 8, and 4. So 18, 8, and 4. 11 and 20. 11 and 20 is up here. What did we get? 17. That's in corner 9. Oh, we had it covered. Perfect. And then reset back to level 1. A couple more wins and we'll have made the target. And notice the win rate is 62.5%. So that's really good. And just so you guys know too, I don't know if you've noticed on I've got a sample size here. And so we're only tracking the last 100 spins that happened. Everything before that, we're not counting because, you know, what may have been hot 150 numbers ago isn't necessarily hot now. So we only track the last 100 spins. Now I can adjust the sample size to, let me just see how many spins we've got. So there's only 98 spins recorded so far. So what I did was I added some results before I started on the camera so that I could get some of the history. That way I could determine what was hot and what was not. So I usually put in about 50 numbers. So we're only at 98 so far. And number 12. Looks like we do have that covered. That's on corner 8. Perfect. Another thing, so we don't have any overlapping corners. I've got a section in the progression. I'll open up the progression builder and just show you real quick. If I go here into the levels and then open up the edit tab, I've got this box checked. And what that does is it prevents overlapping numbers. And 33. I don't think we have that covered. And this could be our last spin if we get a win here. And 28. That corner doesn't look hot on the visual graphic. Let's see. Not covered. All right, so level 5 now. Or I'm sorry, level 3 with 5 corners covered. 18, 8, 11, 4, and 21. Now, if I didn't have that overlapping, that's definitely going to be a loss. I can see it's blue here, so that's a cold corner for sure. If I didn't have that overlapping box checked, then what we would end up with is potentially, oh, we did win that. 34 was part of a hot corner. Really? Okay. Well, I'll take it. Fantastic. What I was saying about the overlapping corners is we'd end up with bonus numbers. So you may end up with less coverage because some of the numbers would overlap. But then if you hit those numbers, the payouts could be a lot bigger. Now, that said, guys, so we managed to hit our target, no problem, $102. And I did have a $100 stop loss on the program, so it actually stops betting automatically. So that's it. It's done placing bets. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you be willing to bet on hot corners if you could? I know a lot of like the casino software or the hot numbers that they give you are only numbers and outside bets. There's no way of knowing what the hot corners or streets are, whereas my program tracks all of that in real time. So let me know if that's something that you would use, and tell me what you think, guys. I'm curious. Anyways, that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and enjoy the day. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Even if the wheel fights back, I rise. Even if the odds push hard, I climb. Even when the numbers try to break my mind, bet master in my hand, I survive every time. Even if the bias sides I see, even when the streak looks wrong, I read. Even if the table bleeds uncertainty, I follow day to day, they're gon' follow me. Hey!